Yo, what's going on, family? You cats know what it is. This is Celebrity Talk with Q, and I'm Q. Check this out, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 2, Episode 7 Recap and Review. I apologize to all my subscribers and my listeners that Episode 6 was kind of late. I did upload it kind of late, and I truly apologize for that. Like I told Miss Mitch, that it will never happen again. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, let's move right into it. The episode opened up with Mimi and Ariane discussing the blow up at Nikko's video shoot. Now all of a sudden Ariane is wanting Mimi and K.Michelle to settle their differences. Wow, we'll come back to that a little later. We move over to Scrappy. Now Scrappy stepped to Momma Dee, you know, his mother, and he sort of asked her to create some space between her and his relationships. He felt that, look, I'm grown and I know that you are concerned, but you're gonna have to let me handle this one. Alright, something to that effect. Now, moving over to the pets, Momma Dee, she hired a dog trainer to help her with Scrappy dog's behavior. Now the dog trainer seemed to have caught Momma Dee's eye, and she began to flirt with him, and they both were sort of flirting back. So wow, you never know what may happen with that. We move over to Rasheeda and Kirk, and they seem to be having a situation. They talk about the pregnancy, and Kirk felt that this is not the right time to have children. Rasheeda and Kirk, they do worry about how the pregnancy will affect their finances, but it seems like Kirk is really worried. Rasheeda, she seemed like she wants to kind of give it a try. She wants to have the baby and, for them to put their heads together and see what can they come up with. But it looks like there may be a separation, because Rasheeda says something to the effect of, look, I may want you to leave. Kirk replied, well, I may want to leave. So, we just pray that, they work that situation out. Also, Benzino was having a little party, and Kirk definitely was in attendance. He felt he just needed to get away, from some stress. And you could tell that Benzino really felt for him. He felt that, wow, your wife may be pregnant right now. Wow, this is a real heavy one. Benzino was telling Kirk, look, if you don't want your wife to get pregnant, you guys have to take the proper precaution. Kirk was saying, well, I do this and I do that. He was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me that's all you do. You have to take proper precaution, and the key word is proper. We move over to Tracy Steele. Tracy Steele had given a fashion event. Now that was something new, because we knew that Tracy Steele was the baby mother of DJ Drew, and she DJs herself, but we didn't know that she was a part of the fashion industry. So she gave a nice fashion event, and it looked good. It was professional. But somebody interesting came down the catwalk. It was Erica, Scrappy's ex. Later on, Tracy tried to mend things between Erica and Shay, and of course it didn't work. So we'll have to see what comes up in the upcoming episodes. On to the man Stevie J. Stevie J met up with Chi-Mac and discussed how he would be working with her. And he also sort of warned her that Jocelyn didn't want him to work with her, or she didn't want to work with Chi-Mac herself. So Steve J got the girls together, and they all sat at the table, and he tried to explain how he wanted to work with both of them. Chi-Mac had apologized to Jocelyn for not getting off on a more proper start. Remember the episode when Chi-Mac was like raising her voice in the club? Not just like raising it at Jocelyn, but just kind of like, talking loud. I guess she was having a good time. She might have been, a little bit inebriated, had a few drinks, that type of thing. So they began to talk for a while, and, Chi-Mac was like, so, Jocelyn, you're not going to do a song with me? And Jocelyn was like, no, I don't want to do anything with you. And then everything Chi-Mac would say, Jocelyn would kind of shoot her down. And Chi-Mac would say things like, you tell your people to call my people. And she was like, you sound stupid, or what have you. And if Chi-Mac was, you know how some women kind of identify each other, like they use the B word, like, yo B, we could do this, not in an anger way, but like in sort of a term of endearment. I know what you're thinking, a term of endearment, but hey, some females talk to each other that way. So Chi-Mac tried to talk to Jocelyn that way, and Jocelyn took offense to it as if she said it disrespectful. So Jocelyn was like, don't let me get up here and kick you down, girl, or what have you. So Jocelyn goes to walk away, and Chi-Mac says something, and Jocelyn lunges at Chi-Mac, and a big fight almost broke out. But what Jocelyn didn't know is Chi-Mac was prepared. Chi-Mac jumped up and she started to defend herself, and a tiny little altercation ensued, but security quickly jumped up and broke up what could have been a melee. Stevie J grabbed Jocelyn and he took Jocelyn outside, and he basically told her that, you know, this is just all business, and you know, what are you trying to do? Also, he stated later that in Jocelyn he created a monster. We moved back over to Tracy and DJ Drew. Now, I really feel bad because it's really sad that these things are still happening. Tracy brought an individual that she felt that could manage the sneaker store. He was a gentleman who was college educated. He had other skills. He had managerial skills. He worked in sneaker stores, and she felt that he would better run their potential business as opposed to Drew getting all these video model types to run the store. And Drew looked at his resume. He seemed to be impressed, and he told Dude that, hey, you know, I'll get back to you. As they left, he told Tracy he needed to have a talk with her and that he had some bad news. He said that the person that he was dealing with was a con artist, and Drew said that he had handed him over $50,000 with no contract, and the guy ran off with the $50,000. Now that's really sad that things like that in this day and time still happens. So be careful out there. Be careful who you do business with. Make sure you know the person. Anybody can make a lot of promises. And don't let no one refer you to somebody without doing your own research, because you can get jammed up just on referrals. I remember when I first started driving, someone who I thought I could trust referred me over to a guy who was selling a car, and the car wound up being a lemon, but I didn't find that out until after I bought the car. So be careful. There's nothing new under the sun. These things still happen, and they continue to happen. Be careful about trusting anyone, especially when it comes to your money. Alright? Let's stay prayerful about that. We don't want to be deceived. We don't want to be put in a bad situation. So let's ask God to look out for us. Okay, now let's get back to Rasheeda. Now, she met up with Carly Red and told Carly Red that she did not want to be on her K.Michelle diss record. Carly Red had to respect that, so they just wanted talking about Carly's career. And Rasheeda had advised her, you know, don't worry about K.Michelle, just redeem your own career. Now, the conclusion of the night was Mimi and Ariane traveled to New York, and they went to, you know, BB's on 42nd Street in Manhattan. K.Michelle happened to be there because she was performing there. Now, K.Michelle been talking reckless all on the radio interviews, saying she believed that Mimi's new man Nikko is gay, he's on the down low. So they finally had a discussion backstage, and it turned heated. Mimi said to K.Michelle, you just mad because you don't got a man. And then K.Michelle said, no, I don't want a man like yours. And she said, and you will never get a man like me. And I don't know, she must have struck a chord, because K.Michelle had received some flowers because she was performing. You know how after you perform, somebody give you flowers as a congratulatory gift. And would you believe when Mimi said, and you'll never get a man like mine, K.Michelle swung the flowers at Mimi? I mean, security broke it up and everything. And then Mimi, not long after that, turned to Ariane and had a heated discussion. Last week, Ariane jumped in Mimi's face, but this time it was reversed. Mimi jumped in Ariane's face. And you see how tough Ariane was trying to act last week? This week, she ate humble pie, and Mimi was all in her face, and Ariane pretty much, I guess she was a little surprised, so I guess she wasn't ready for that. But anyway, it was a regular episode. I mean, not so much has happened. But go on and send your comment. I'm gonna ask you a question. Should Mimi just separate from K.Michelle as well as Ariane? You let me know, alright? See, let me just say this. We're adults now, so you have to understand, if we have a disagreement and we can't seem to get along, we shouldn't feel that we have to continue to communicate, because that can make matters worse. You can forgive someone, but still know that you have to separate from them, because associating with them just brings confusion. So think about it. Should Mimi and K.Michelle totally separate? Should Mimi and Ariane totally separate? They can forgive one another, respect one another, without associating with one another. It's always good to forgive, but when you forgive and try to continue to associate with a person who has done you wrong, there are times that you will only make matters worse. Think about it, alright? And like we always say, if you think Celebrity Talk with Q, if you think we bring the real, you go on and subscribe. Alright, family, I'm gonna get at y'all. 100.
Thank you.